It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Miller's Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report, a weekly update on water conditions, events, generating schedules, horse biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you every week by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Miller's Ferry hunting and fishing report.
There he is. Team Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the B&B Silver Shade. Team Bigfoot in the house.
Shane Jones crappie fishing. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report for the Gettin Outdoors podcast number 195. We just got through talking with Mr. Wesley Cole with the Alabama Crappie Masters Tournament Director, and Shane Jones. That was a good interview. I can't wait for you to hear that. That kid has got it going on now.
Oh, yeah. You can tell.
Hey, we got a special guest in the studio with us today, Mr. Brody Sims, fresh back from Las Vegas. He was at the Junior World Finals, and I got that all wrong, Kevin. I thought the University of West Alabama rodeo team was out there, but it was totally different, wasn't it? What was actually happening out there, Brody, this weekend?
It's the Junior Rostock Association is how you qualified for it. My high school rodeos from last year qualified me for it when I bought my JRA card.
Okay. So it wasn't a affiliation with the school, but you were representing the University of West Alabama rodeo team, correct?
Yes, sir. You could say that.
Him and Sam both.
Okay. Well, that's what we want to start off with today. But first of all, let's talk about the river conditions. I called Miller's Ferry Powerhouse, and I tell you what, this is crazy. But they pulling water tomorrow now from midnight to 9 a.m., 3 units on Miller's Ferry. From 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., 3 units. And at Jones Bluff from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., 4 units. And from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., 4 units. Temperatures in the water, and this is just an educated guess, Shane. You help me if I'm wrong. 58, 62, I'd say that's in the sloughs and the river, and it's probably warmed up with all this 75 degree weather.
Travis told me, he said he saw some 63 in some sloughs
right?
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, it is crazy. It is crazy right now. But let's talk about your weekend first, Brody. Y'all went all the way to Las Vegas. Kevin, I'm glad you went and got to do a little sightseeing tour with Denise.
Yeah, we did. It was a a whole different part of the world, but it's like two worlds.
Yeah.
You got the real world in Las Vegas, and you got the money making world. But them folks out there is making money 24/7, 365. They got it going on out there.
Well, Brody, I know it was an exciting experience for you. Talk about it from the time you qualified to the trip out there. When you got there, was it everything you expected?
It was exactly what I expected to be, really. When I qualified for it, I wasn't real sure about it because I hadn't been on a lot of horses at the time. I was just coming back from an injury. And me and Daddy sat down and talked about it, and we said, yeah, we'll go out there. It'll be a good experience. And then I got on some more horses, and I started feeling better about it. And we flew in on that Tuesday. I rode that Friday, so I had a few days just to go out and see everything.
Get settled down.
That's right. And come out, got my first horse, missed my mark out, and did get a score.
I saw that dog and I was watching. I said, now, when you ride that mechanical bull, heck, you run them spurs all the way to the top of the neck. But why, dadgummit, you rode the horse, you just missed the mark out.
Yes, sir. I'm not sure what I got going on with it, but I got to figure it out. We're back to the drawing board right now. I got some time off, figure things out.
And then your second ride, you got bucked off, but I don't think you marked that second ride, did you?
I didn't see a yellow flag on the ground, so I'm not sure if I did or not.
Did you get hurt? Because it looked like it kind of shook you up.
No, I was pretty disappointed there for a second. I took a minute to run everything through my head.
Well, I don't have much experience with rodeos, but it's got to be it's a camaraderie. I mean, though all you guys know each other. Talk about that, Brody. Talk about the University of West Alabama rodeo team. You guys are one of the top rodeo teams in the nation. And although they weren't affiliated with this rodeo, y'all have made some pretty good showings in these rodeos.
Oh yes, sir. Our girls team right now is number 1 in our region, and our guys, I think they're sitting 4th right now. But you got all these rodeo teams from all these different schools, but of course you got sports, you got teams competing against each other.
Yeah.
But rodeo, it's more like you're just one big team. You cheer for each other. Someone makes a good ride, makes a good run on a steer, something like that. Everybody is cheering each other on. We're not against each other. We're trying to help each other as much as we can.
How many in Alabama rodeo colleges is it beside the University of West Alabama?
We're the only one in Alabama.
Really?
Yes.
Auburn is starting theirs.
Auburn is starting one up right now.
I thought Troy had one at one time.
They used to. They canceled. They did away with it.
The coach at Auburn is like his first year and doesn't have any budget, so he's like building from the ground up. He's just starting back out. What I was told.
Well, when you told me it was going to be on the Cowboy Channel, I set it to record, but what I recorded was the professional guys.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed watching that. Now,
I tell you what. That's the show.
And I thought about Brody when they bucked out with this board. Now, you talk about marking a horse when they come out.
They get it. Which, like you was talking about the camaraderie and all, I coached every sport, both my children growing up, and it's a grudge match, and it's a lot of trash talking back and forth between the teams, stuff like that. Now, rodeo is totally different. I mean, like, Brody's direct competition is on the chute, helping him tie his rigging down, coaching him up before he goes out, and this is the guy he's competing against. And then when it shoe flops around, 2 more of them's up there, with Brody and 2 more of them up there coaching the next guy up. It's like a total different atmosphere.
Well, there's really no way you can get an advantage on anybody because every horse is different.
That's right. You're technically competing against that animal. And you got to look at the draw, and
that's the way rodeo is. You're not competing against the person next to you. You're competing whatever animal.
That animal, you're trying to ride that beast, and that beast don't want you on that back. I can tell you that.
No. They had a flank rope plus a person he didn't want there. It's a whole nother show then.
The animals enjoy it just as much as we do.
You think so?
The horses and bulls are athletes just like we are.
I guarantee you. But anyway, congratulations and thank you for sitting in with us today. Hey, Shane, you ever ride in a rodeo? You look like a bull rider.
Yeah, I used to have a buddy talk me into getting on a few of them paint horses he used to break. So I got thrown in a mud hole a couple times. So I didn't say I was a rodeo, but I got thrown off a few of them.
Well, he'd be one of them steer wrestlers. He'd be like, come off there about 30 miles an hour, get on that head. He'd got to wait.
No. I eat them things. I don't ride them.
It was old buddy. I had old buddy years and years ago named Curvin Thomas. Y'all might remember Curvin Thomas.
I've heard
He
that name.
passed away now. Lee Thomas's brother. And I used to pay his entry fee. We had rodeos in Miller's Ferry, Lenox, Alabama. It was a little shit small, and he was a bull rider. And David Miller was another one. He rode them bulls. And, you could never. I don't think none of them ever rode 8 seconds. Them bulls were tough to ride, son. But I always enjoyed rodeo. I really did. I just don't know that much about it. All right, well, let's talk about some current events. The dredge boat is at Claiborne Locking Dam as we speak. I'm going to go down there tomorrow and fly the drone over it and get some pictures of it working. I don't know how far north it's coming, but it is at Claiborne right now. I do want to talk a little bit about safety. Shane and Kevin and Brody, I got word today that we have had 9 fall recorded injuries, major injuries, in the deer woods already this year. And last year we had the least that we ever had, so it ain't starting out too good. So anybody that's deer hunting, don't forget those safety harnesses. I know they're a pain in the rump, but Lord, you don't want to fall out that tree stand. Also, we're getting reports now, and it happens every year this time of the year, of carcasses on the side of the road, people throwing deer carcasses out, and I'm still seeing corn bags and seed bags all up and down the road, and it's just unacceptable. I don't know why you guys want to do that, but I tell you, it is really a bad sign for the good hunters to see that stuff on the side of the road. So please try to keep your bags in the back of the truck and put your deer carcasses back in there. Just throw them out in the back of the woods where the public can't see them. You know.
That's right.
That's just please do that. All right, let's see. We got a lot to talk about in the fishing world. I want to get Joe Allen on here with us. Because he's got. All right, let's see. We got a lot to talk about in the fishing world. I want to get Joe Allen. Oh, I'm sorry. I turned up the wrong thing.
Hello.
Hey, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, we got Shane, Kevin, Brody, and me, and we're fixing to start the Town Country United Bank hunting and fishing report for the weekend, and we're going to start off with the catfish. And I want you to tell the story about the catfish because Travis and Team Dirty Hooker, a team Old Dirty Hooker, because it's only one in that team now. He has been tearing the catfish up, and you went Saturday. You went Saturday and did not catch a fish, and then Travis went Sunday and filled that big cooler up. So
well, he come by the house. Me and Aaron was out crop fishing. I said we could throw out just to see what's going on. We took 10 long lines and threw them out, and when we picked them up, they all still had bait on them. I said, well, they done shifted, they moved, they done made a move up, and we got some bait. Got a lot of bait. Some of the sloughs were just full of it. And then Travis was in the yard, we pulled up, and I told him what we done. And I said, you know where they at? They're over in my favorite, that flat right there in front of the house, all the way down the curve. He said, he was ready to go then. And then he said, well, I'll come back and go. I said, all right, well, we go crawfish, the rest of the time. So me and Aaron caught, we didn't catch no crappie. But then we stayed mostly in the sloughs. And there was so many shad in there that they didn't have to do nothing. They just had to open their mouth and a shad would go in. So we got back out on the riverbank for the crappie, and we started catching them. We probably caught 30 or so crappie. We kept 10 good ones. But Travis, he's going to y'all. He come use my jugs, my bait. Well, we'll see.
He told me that he was catching the bait he caught the bait. He done caught some for you too. He told me.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, now
I caught the bait, and he went and got the bait out of the freezer.
Well, now we know the rest of the story.
He told me he's catching all the bait he can get. What he told me.
Well, Well, first thing he told me, he couldn't catch nobody.
Huh.
They've been throwing net right there at the mouth of the bridge right
And that's
there.
what he told me. That's
Yeah,
what he said he called about.
I saw him Saturday afternoon when we gave that quilt away.
Mhm.
He said them shad are stacked up under that
That's what he told me. I don't know.
Well, yeah, he did. Then he went back and they caught somebody. At that point, he didn't have
Oh,
any.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we really need. The only way to get the truth out of Travis, we're gonna have to hire the guy with the polygraph test. We'll get the truth out of him.
Yeah.
Then, but other than that, we'll never get the truth out of Travis.
Well, now what we gonna do? Shane and him. He's gonna get Travis in the boat with him and video it. They gonna video it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna video every bit of it.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be that's gonna put you.
Your bait is in your freezer. I got secret bait. Don't know my moves.
I want video
They
of
ain't-
the secrets.
They ain't
I'll
gonna
do
make
video.
that in my freezer now.
All right, so Travis is listening, and now we know the rest of the story. All right, I saw the old cat catcher. He went below the dam the other day, and he caught some nice ones down there. Did you ever find out how you talked to Stacy? Didn't you, Joe Allen, this week? And
Yeah, I did.
Tell us what you found out from Stacy.
Yeah, he's got those new on his website. Those your depth finder hold deals that they are really, really good.
Yeah.
So, and he has at first we thought we didn't have but a couple of links, but he's got several of them, from like a 8, 10, one kind of even closer from your dash mount. And then he's got a 24 even. And that's what I'm going to get is one of those 24s. And they look real good, real good.
Ah, that's good. Stephen Tidmore just said he really enjoying the podcast. And Shane, next time you get the Roebuck, give him a holler, and he'll put you up at his camp house at Brush Creek. You know where that is?
It's right above where I always go. I know where it is.
All right.
Right there above Lock 7 there.
That's
outside
Stephen
Jennings Ferry.
Tidmore. All right. Well, let's talk about catfish, Joe Allen. If you're coming this weekend, the long lines are out of play. Am I correct about that?
Pretty much, yeah. They gone now. So they're gonna be in your. They move back up when that happens. Though they're not completely out on those flats, but what they're up in is those flats has got that current coming through them too. So they're in those, and which I ain't saying the long lines are completely out. There's still a lot of shad in the edge of the river, right on the on their breaks, because that's what the crappie getting at that are out there. But the flats is gonna be better, and especially the ones with got current coming across them, 4 to 6 foot deep, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Michael Hilliard said them catfish are eating like crazy below Jones Bluff. And I you know how he's fishing. He's fishing like Stacy's fishing. But if you're jugging now, you got to get off in them sloughs, preferably where some stumps are, and preferably where some moving water. Am I right, Joe Allen?
That's right. Go back and watch our videos that we did. Me and you did the ultimate jug.
Yeah.
That's the kind of jugs you need to be using right now.
Well, that the bait gonna tell you.
Yeah.
If you get too shallow, you ain't gonna see no bait. But might be in that 4-6, but that on a good day they may move on into that 2 and 3 foot of water. But that bait is gonna tell you where they're going.
I forget every time we're talking about catfishing, we got Team Sims is the reigning champion of the first jugging contest, and the Dirty Hookers were the second. And the Bigfoot, they ain't even placed yet. So
No, I have not.
So,
But they all proteges of mine.
you taught them all, huh?
I helped.
All right. Well, that's good news. The catfishing is doing it now. But it's short line jugs now, 6 foot, 4 foot. All right, let's go to crappie fishing, Joe Allen. Now, you did not catch them Saturday, but you caught them Sunday. What was the difference?
Right. I was in most of the sloughs on Saturday, and they were in there, and you could see the fish, but there was so much bait in all these sloughs right now. I've never seen many shad in my life as they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we got talking about, I said, I mean, it's almost an accident catch one with that much bait in there with them, you know. So, and then the next day I said, we're just going to go back out the river and, you know, try it again. And we did. And they were all in eddies, you know.
Yeah.
Some kind of creek mouth or one of those places where you got current coming on both sides of the bank, coming down through a flat and coming back into the river. And wherever you found an eddy and there was something hung there, a tree or something in that, you know, it was about, most everything was anywhere from about 16 to 18 foot of water. And you really, the fish out there in that kind of stuff, a lot of times you really can't see them, you know, with a live scope as much because they hunker down. They'll be on the very bottom or either hugged up real tight to that tree or stump or whatever. But you go to bounce it through there and all of a sudden, you know, you'll get a bite, you'll get a hit. And like I said, we caught, I don't know, a bunch of crappie. We had got in the drum a time or two, and but you know, we had come out with a good mess Sunday.
Shane, you fished Demopolis after you made your personal appearance at Bob Sykes Barbecue. How'd that go, Sad?
It went good. It went good. He's busy as always up there. We had a few people come in and talk, and you know, but it was a good time.
You got your boat wrapped, looking good. And you went to Demopolis Sunday, right?
That's right. I went down there Sunday.
Talk about what you did on Demopolis and what the fish and crappie are doing there.
I put in upriver, of course. Everybody knows that river shot up about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 foot, and then it sucked out 4, 5, 6 foot real quick like. So it busted those fish up. The creeks were clear, that the river was stained up, and I tried to find some main river fish and caught a few, but they were so picky. I had to put it. I had to walk that bait under a limb in a certain spot to get them to hit it. It was, but like Joe Allen said, there's so many shad. We got to have some cold weather to kill some of these shad. Half my screen fell up with shad.
Mm-hmm.
I went in one creek I hadn't been in since June, went in there, same way, shad were everywhere. And the crappie were just, the white crappie, they were running up and down the banks like it was springtime. You couldn't hardly get them to stop. They just chasing shad and eating because and the water's 60 something degrees. That's what I was going to say. People need to start like this weekend. I'd be looking a little shallower than I normally would because those fish are going to be probably 8, 9, 10 foot deep now, maybe shallower than that. I wouldn't be surprised if they wasn't 3 or 4 foot deep in some places.
Well, you think then they might be on those brush piles like off the river, you know, those.
They may be. I don't know. I don't know if it would be that or you getting a big slough and find a transition place kind of in between. Because they probably don't know what to think with that bait, but they're gonna follow that bait. It doesn't matter, you know, what happens. It don't matter how hot the water is, how cold it is. They're gonna follow them shad. So
That's right.
What about Neely Henry? Have you ever fished Neely Henry? You know, they got that.
I fished a tournament there last year. Went up there last year. Me and Ryan Willis fished it, and it's a main river really fishery. You know, it's the main river. You fish in the river channel. A lot of big stumps where they built that. You know, lake backed it up. It's got some big crappie in it.
Well, they got that Alabama Crappie Masters tournament this weekend. You got 14 boats signed up. I think that's the most they ever had signed up.
Yeah, they'll probably end up with. I imagine 7, 8, 10 boats won't. You know, probably haven't pre-registered, so they'll end up with 20 people, which will be awesome.
I hope so. I sure hope so. I really do. All right, we lost Joe Allen. I hope he'll call back, but
That, you know, I saw it was some flash floods on the Tennessee River in North Alabama up in there. We're probably gonna get another surge on some rising water. You know,
I got some video today from Neely Henry and a buddy of mine up there. He showed me some trash in the river, so it's got some color to it too. But like you said, there was so much rain above us. That's what really pushed it down. I hadn't looked at Demopolis here lately, but I'm telling you, you know, it shot up so quick and they sucked the bottom out of it, boy. Fast.
Well, that's my old buddy Dennis Willett up there he's up there in Prattville, Millbrook, and we'll get all that rain up there, and it'll shoot up, but it'll come down real quick, and then we gotta wait, 10 days for ours to go down.
Right.
But Shane, you've been hollering for sustained water now.
Oh yeah, but what's crazy, Big Daddy? I guess it just all it done was purge those springs and those creeks because it was clear. I went in Runaway Branch, which is always stained, but when it rains, it clears up. I went in there and it was clear as a bell. I was like, man, it's crazy.
Really?
It went up about 2 feet, but it was clear.
Well, I got some pictures. I got some drone pictures I need to find that I took last year when we had that big rain. And you can tell the river is just solid mud, and all the sloughs are clear as they can be. You remember that picture?
It's crazy. That's the way it was, you know, and you still got all that grass dying that's dead and it's coming out of those sloughs. I couldn't fish some areas because of that grass. It was matted up in there where they hadn't sucked it out of there yet.
I think sometimes too, when you have a big differential in the temperature, when you get a hard rain and the river actually will cool off and the slough warmer, that it don't let it mix as good. The temperatures don't, you know, when the mud, you get those good lines of mud lines and stuff, you know, when you got a 6, 8, 10 degree temperature in the water like that.
But I mean, I guess, you know, I think when conditions aren't steady or conditions aren't the same a lot, I think it busts those crappie up. I really do. They're not, it stays cold and consistent. You find fish, you can consistently catch them on a river system. But when it gets hot, cold, water up, down, it's going to blow those fish apart.
I ain't seen any ganged up this year. I hadn't, and I mean, times I've been out there, you'll see, you know, 4, 5, or 6 on the treetop, but I hadn't seen them.
Well, you know, in Miller's Ferry, the end of September, the 1st of October, I was catching, you know, 100 fish a weekend, and they were, you know, pretty much bunched up. But it's been that pattern for a long time. You know, now they ain't no telling where they're going to be. You're just going to search till you find them. That's the best advice I can give. That's what we
say. If you come in crappie fishing this weekend on Demopolis or Miller's Ferry, you got to go fishing. You got to fish. You got to fish.
Keep moving.
You're going to have to, and you might, like I said, I picked up 3, 4, 5 fish. I kept 21 Sunday, and me and Rob fished almost everything I could know to fish. And it's just, you know, we probably caught 40, but a lot of small ones. So.
All right, listen to this. Captain Troy says his mullet fishing is about over in another week. So he's headed this way, and he's going to hold Kevin and Joe Allen to his first crappie fishing trip. He's never fished for one, and he's never eaten one.
Man, he's coming to the right place. I can tell you that.
Care of you, Captain Troy. I guarantee you.
Yeah, he's coming to the right place. He ain't been deer hunting yet.
I ain't seen him, but I ain't got me no oysters yet.
He brought you no oysters?
I ate some oysters last night. Sure did.
Yeah. All right, Jason Domain's on here. I think he's gonna fish that tournament this weekend.
I would think so. I would think I got a guide trip where I'd go up there and support him because I told you I was watching Wesley and watching that momentum as he was getting more sponsors, and I was like, hey, this kid's he's pushing it a little bit. So,
he is. He really is.
That's awesome. That's great.
I'm pulling for him too. I'm gonna share all my knowledge that I know with him, and hopefully he does. But his dad's helping him too, and I think he knows a lot about it.
I think old Tim Pentecost and them's helping him too. Up at Weiss Lake, they're good folks too. They're all helping him, so you know they want it to do well.
All right, bass fishing. Alabama River Open this weekend at Swift Creek. That is a Pride of the South tournament from this weekend. If you want to fish a good bass tournament at Swift Creek, the Bass Team Championship on Lake Hartwell. I was looking at a little bit of it before we came on the air. I think our Alabama Bass Trail boys did pretty good, and 2 of them are leading right now.
That's right.
And they had a fruit jar tournament at Runaway. I ain't heard how it did.
I was out of pocket, but I hadn't heard anything.
All right, bass fishing, Kevin. This weekend, that river is getting back right. It's hot water. The water's heating up. What you do?
Well, it's going to be a bait issue. You know, there's always fish be caught shallow. You know, and then right ahead of that storm, it's supposed to rain. Whether it be Friday or Saturday, it's going to be a good day ahead of that front coming in. You know, and a lot of times at one time it'll be a high pressure, but coming in, but it's still the fish will bite ahead of it. But now it'll really give them the lockjaw, you know, once it gets here. But it's going to be you're going to see, you know, fish, the slough mouth, you know, getting in the fall pattern, but this temperature is going to booger them up a little bit with the water temperature coming up. They're going to be scattered out, you know, probably a lot of suspended fish moving up and down in the edge of the shallow water, you know, on your maybe some of your good secondary points and your bigger sloughs, but they'll ahead whatever day it is, Friday or Saturday, right ahead of that rainstorm, it's going to be a good fishing.
Trey said Gunnar Williams and Nathan Williams won with 15 pounds Saturday at the Fruit Jar at Runaway Landing. So thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
All right. So what I hadn't had a chance to ask you, how the diamond baits coming, y'all?
It's been just more of a phenom. I mean, the 3.5 really took off that
But
size.
ain't this the A-rig season
It's
right
just getting into it, and we've already probably Jamie sold probably on the 2,500 of them already, and it's just getting time. We actually sold out. We had like 1,400 of the 3.5, that particular size, sold completely out. We done run out. We had 20,000 blades, run out of blades. We got another order of 25,000 blades. Finally came in. We got the inventory back up, and Cole's been selling them. Actually, Jamie got some in it's a new bait store that I can't think of the guy's name though. One of the big pros there on the Chickamauga. He just opened up a new bait store. And he got into his store, and he was hard. He didn't want to support Jamie. He wanted to go with somewhere else. And then he got to talking around, I guess, because like Talking Tackle, they selling 40 to 80 a week.
Who is the pro y'all got on the pro on
Cole Sands? He was a guide on Chickamauga, and he tried through the opens his first time. He fished all 9, and they said it's about like unheard of. He made it to the elites. He'll be on the elites on TV next year on his first try.
And he's representing diamond baits.
Jamie will have diamond baits on his wrap on his boat, and he'll be wearing diamond baits on his jersey.
Made in Clark County, Alabama.
Clark County, Alabama. And,
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
They sent a package out, and Jamie went through it, and you got different levels of sponsorship on there, but they show you what you get for your money, and it's almost like the
Rusty.
The
the
number
total
one fan.
it was like 4.3 million views on all their stuff, something like that. That's what's available if you sponsor through them. It's really just unreal what Bassmaster touches.
Oh yeah,
in a year's time.
I can tell you. Ask Miss Laura.
Oh yeah, I got to get up with her. We're gonna have to make sure Jamie gets a little extra touch too.
She's handling all the social media for bass.
Yeah, and see, she'll be the one that posts what posts. I can be sure she gets Cole on there and gets Jamie's stuff on there. All
right, look at him. Hey, Shane.
That's Brody's number one fan.
And Kevin, but he said, glad to see you. Oh, no, that ain't one.
Hey, Brody. Yeah, right there.
He said, hello, Brody. He don't say hello, Shane. Hello,
Kevin.
Hello,
Joel.
Hello, Joel.
Brody's number one fan right there, Rusty.
I guarantee.
I'm glad to be back in Bama, Rusty. I'm glad to be back in Alabama.
Well, he keeps up with you, son.
He takes me every rodeo.
All right, so bass fishing this weekend. Now let's talk a little bit about small game. I went out to Joe Allen's the other night to eat supper, and he had Sarah, his squirrel dog there, that's just as skittish as it can be. And across the slough, I heard Peanut and Dixie yapping, and those are the 3 most expensive squirrel dogs I've ever known in my life. That neither one of them that I know of have ever been squirrel on.
No. Scott, I have seen Scott's dogs tree squirrels in the yard. I have. That's right. Joel's dog, he says he's treeing, but I have not seen that with my eyes.
He don't tree them on the river, but he trees them in Thomasville.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the difference
He's city hunter.
is. Yeah.
City hunter.
Yeah. Duck season came in last weekend. Did you see that picture? I had never seen one, Kevin, of a cross between a mallard and a pintail. Have you ever
I have not seen one of those.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of different mallard crosses, where you had, like with a black duck, and that's what a mottled duck is.
Yeah.
In a regular greenhead. And I've seen that, but I have not seen a cross between a mallard and a pintail. I've seen some half albinos in 2 or 3 species.
Well, Reynolds Cooks, he killed it up in Morgan County. He also killed, I guess he had got drawn for those sand hill crane hunts.
Yeah.
And they say that is some good eating. I don't know.
Jamie said that up there in Minnesota, they hunt them things. He said it's like a big old flying ribeye.
Yeah.
He said that's fine.
And Corey Ingram, I don't know what he going to do with all them Canada geese he killed this weekend. I swear he had a dead gum Polaris Ranger loaded down with him.
He went to hire a chef.
Yeah. And Jared and the Coon Hunters Outdoor Ministry, him and Gerald and Darren, they had a good night the other night coon hunting, and I think they're going to have to supply Todd and Joe Allen with coons for the next Camp Chef's Cook. I don't think Joe Allen can get no coons. So y'all You
We're
might-
talking about the camp shift thing. Now, I sent you the picture of my homemade biscuits. right
Yeah,
before I went to
yeah,
the buffet.
yeah.
That looked pretty good,
I
didn't
put them up there. I
Oh.
put them up there,
it? Okay.
and yeah, they look darn good. I tell you, that biscuits and cornbread. What, Brody?
I think Rusty wants me to get you one of them horses.
You want
What
me?
you think about that?
You on a horse? I don't think so.
We had to get Big Daddy Clyde's deal.
Yeah. No, I don't think I might get in one. I might get one of them wagons or something, but I ain't getting.
Jared, there's our coon
Yeah, there you go,
connection
Jared.
right
You're gonna
there.
have to get Jess. You're gonna have
About
to
3 or
get Joe
4 of 'em.
Allen and Todd some coons, cause ain't neither one of them gonna get them. So for the next camp, they done said they're gonna cook ducks. Then he said they're gonna cook coons. Then I talked to him the other day. He's got some deer shoulders he's gonna cook. So I don't know what they're gonna cook next, but we're gonna get it down.
I'll have
when
you
they
a
do.
mess of ducks here in
God, there you
end
go.
of December.
Here's your ducks, Joe
You
Allen.
going to Arkansas?
I'm going to Nebraska.
Nebraska.
All right, that small game, the Deer and Wilcox Area Chamber of Commerce Big Buck Contest is going on right now as we speak. I will be at the Wilcox Farm and Hunting Supply from 10 to 2 this Saturday. They are having a Hunters Appreciation, Customer Appreciation Day. We're going to be cooking, giving away stuff, specials. And if you have not seen Rick Pipkins' high protein performance deer pods, deer nutrition pods, they 200-pound blocks, and I'm going to tell you, the deer love them. And they are available at Wilcox Farm Supply in Camden, Safford Trading in Safford, South Alabama, Kubota, and Monroe, Thomasville Feed and Seed in Thomasville, and the Hunters Outfitters down in Citronelle.
It's
They
the
sell
blockers in the tube.
It's in a tub.
Mhm.
It is a 200-pound plastic
tub.
tub like them cow licks,
Mhm.
but you have to dump them out of the tub,
Mhm.
and they are something else. All right, and I also wanted to mention I got a call the other night from Sergeant Joe Johnston, who is the game warden in Dallas County, and he took his special needs daughter on a kids outdoors hunt in Bibb County, thanks to Mr. Chip Burks, who owns Burks Mechanical, and she killed a huge deer. And I mean, you have to see it to believe it. That was a deer of a lifetime for Catherine, and I want to shout out to her tonight. And anything else, Shane? What else we need to talk about? You got anything going on?
No, I ain't got nothing. I got a little guide trip Saturday. Hopefully, then I don't know what we're gonna do Sunday. So
You got any guide fishing openings? If anybody wants to go,
I do. I got one book for this Saturday, and that's about it. But until I really get on the fish, I don't just advertise a lot of it because I want people to catch some fish. So
but that
once
is
I get them fired up, so
Buck's Guide Service on Facebook is where you want to go.
yeah, so
find
they can find my number on Facebook also. But yeah, it's fixing to get time to do it. It's just after Christmas, it'll fire up.
And you did a heck of a video walkthrough through that new War Eagle boat too. And I don't know how many times it's been watched, but
I got to looking online before I bought it and couldn't find nothing on the boat. And I'm like, well, they don't push a lot of crappie fishing out of that boat. I mean, it's a utility boat. They duck hunt out of it, but I figured I'd make one. Why not? And, we'll see what happens with it.
All right, Brody. Rodeo. What's your next rodeo? What you got coming up?
My next college rodeo will be February 16th in Meridian, Mississippi.
No, March.
Yeah, March. My fault.
March, right.
Not February, March.
In Meridian, Mississippi, are you going to do? Well, I mean, what do y'all practice ride before a rodeo? How does that work? What do y'all do at that on the off weeks when you hadn't got a rodeo?
Oh yes, sir. We Monday we get on our dummy work, which is the drop barrel for bulls or the buck machine for bronc rider, bareback rider. On Tuesdays we buck horses and bulls, and then the rest of the day is the week we just get back on the dummy. We buck rough stock one day a week, every week.
Well, who is your coach?
Daniel Poole.
I need his number. I'm gonna get him. He needs to work on that. What marking them horses out. Brody, you got to work on that.
We've been working on it. Trust me. He stays on my butt about it.
I'm gonna get me a cane, and when he don't come out, I'm gonna start whipping him when he leaves out there. He's gonna be getting me and the horse.
I believe that was an 80-point ride the other day if you just marked that horse up. But anyway, appreciate you coming, man.
Oh, yes, sir. Glad to be here.
We supporting you and the
Been a long time since we had Brody on the show. That was like, he was about
He's a
6,
little,
8 years
a
old.
little bitty fella up in the radio station in Thomasville, and we did some spots at Gaston's Grill one day.
Boy, that's the one that sticks out in my mind. We'll do it quick. That Brody, little old bitty boy, and he was just talking up and so on, jabbing away. When he asked Big Day, he said, Big Day, do you know any of them people on TV deer hunt? Big Day swole up. Yes, sir. I know them all. Like he said, I want to go hunting with one of them. He put him on the spot on the radio.
Oh, Brody, I watched you grow up, boy. But I want you to ride them horses now. I want to see you on that professional rodeo circuit here for a long.
That's the
That's why I
plan.
told him the next trip to Las Vegas, he's paying for.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
And then what he texted me the other night, he said, next stop, Daddy, is going to be the college final.
There you go.
That's our next goal.
Shane, always a pleasure. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
With us today, and we're gonna keep. I can't wait that video of you and Travis at Catfish Jugging. Now,
Yeah, I'm gonna do a good one from there. It's gonna be fun.
I'm waiting on that one. And Joe Allen got cut off, but I know I have never seen him, Kevin, work. Well, let's take that back. I'm not gonna say work. I've never seen him in that store as much as he's been in that store in the last 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, you know what? Well, no, I mean, John, in his defense, he does about probably 70% of his year in 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, so it takes him, Bubba, the boys, Miss Trice, all of them to keep it going this time of year. You know, they get after it right now.
Yes, sir. And he is. And he's got that store is stocked as well done sports as I've ever seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Clothes and everything.
You know, and Joe Allen, if you go in there and don't see Joe Allen in his trucks there, he's on the computer back there hunting stock. He's out there hunting stock.
Sure is. All right. Anything else, Shane?
No, sir, I ain't got anything.
All right. Thank you, Brody. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Joe Allen. If you listen, sorry we got unhooked from you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see y'all next week, same time, same channel.
Safety harnesses.
Safety harnesses. Safety. Stay with us, Shane.
Yes, sir.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.